What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, my fighters? I'm One Eye Bright, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about Fear the Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 2, my review, recap, talk about some things, break it down for you. Obviously, spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead, shows, comics, spin-offs, everything related to the Walking Dead universe, spoiler warning. Now, I just watched Season 1, Episode 2, and I thought it was pretty much what Fear the Walking Dead does. Did you like it? Did you not? Please let me know in the comments below. But if you can, guys, and you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Big shout out to my patrons, members, subscribers, everybody who likes the channel, everybody who comes by and checks out the channel. Thank you very much. We truly appreciate it. We can't do it without you. And I just want to show some love to the people that help us out. If you donate, if you can help the channel anyway, thank you very much. We truly appreciate it. Now let's get to it. Now, Fear the Walking Dead Season 1, Episode 2 starts right here with a bunch of people that we never met before. They're doing something inside this room that we find out later is basically a test that Ginny set up for people. It's kind of like the slums, what to do with people you're not sure what to do with, but stuff breaks down. And to me, I was like, wow, these people are really incompetent. Why wouldn't you set up something that happens on later on, like Strand and Alicia do, but you're like, wow, everything that could go wrong does go wrong for these people. But Ginny's people aren't really nice. So then we see Strand and Alicia, and they're literally burning crap. They cleaned out the latrines, I'm guessing, and they're lighting human feces on fire. And the person in the MRAP, more commonly known as the SWAT truck, has a problem with it because the ranger comes and stops the truck, and they're like, the wind's blowing to the east or west or whatever he says. And Strand and Alicia laugh it off like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, I want to enjoy my lunch today. And he's basically being a pain in the butt. You know, that's what he's doing here. He's giving them the business. And then you see Strand, Alicia, the two Rangers, and you see Dakota over there. And Dakota stands up for Alicia and Strand. And you find out later on that Dakota, we knew this going into the season, that Dakota is Ginny's sister. Alicia, Strand are commandeered to go see Ginny because they got in trouble. And Dakota walks with them. And she's basically a friend. You see like, okay, maybe we can trust her. And I love the theory, the idea and speculation that she's the one that helped a certain someone in the first episode, but more of that in another video. But Strand and Alicia are sent to go see Ginny. Folks call me Ginny. So you see Ginny again, and Strand and Alicia are the main focus of the episode, and I guess that's what they're going to be in the first half of season 6 at least. We're going to see people that are focused on. Dakota is a new character, and I kind of like her already, even though I'm not really sure why she wants to help the group. Does she not like Virginia and what she's doing? Obviously, she has a problem with her sister, but anytime we can get help towards our group, it's always a good thing. I'm not sure who this guy is, but he's in one of the promo photos. He's one of the patrol rangers guys, you know, it's with Ginny, but, you know, he just focused on here. He brings Strand and Alicia to go meet Virginia. And I'm guessing we're not supposed to like Virginia's people because they're not very nice, except for a couple of them so far. And when we get into the room, we see Daniel cutting Virginia's hair, and Daniel has amnesia. Or Changnesia, if you know Community. No, but Daniel is not himself. We find out later that it's an act, but you kind of thought that. Alicia is fooled, Strand is fooled, Charlie is fooled. Really, everybody inside Virginia's compound that Daniel is interacting with is fooled by Daniel's acting. And part of you is like, is he acting? Is he real? Is he legit? But Daniel is surviving. Reminds you of Carol a little bit when she went to Alexandria, but Virginia says that they need to go somewhere. She pulls this out of somewhere. It's like, whoa, where did you get that thing? Where have you been hiding that weapon there, Ginny? But I'm sure it was in a drawer. And then we see Strand and Alicia basically in the slums. Everybody is there to basically do a minimal labor-intensive job to find out to get these walkers out of a place where they have molasses and sugar. And we see that people were shot there. If you try to run away, you come here. It's basically like a jail and a spot for the leftovers. Strand and Alicia meet Charlie and the other lady that was in season 5, I believe, with the brother. I'm not remembering her name, but we see some people being reunited, and it's kind of good to see. The Rangers bring the weapons that are basically spears, and then you see Dakota was a stowaway. Reminds me a lot of Carl in the Savior van with Jesus, and it reminds me a lot of that. But Alicia and Strand find out that Dakota is Ginny's sister. And Dakota knows who Alicia and Strand are, probably because she saw the videotapes. She lives with Virginia, hears the conversations, and she knows a lot about this place. I don't know how old she is, but she's probably the younger sister of Virginia. And then we see the idea that Strand and Alicia come up with. It's a good way to contain where the walkers are, or where they can go once you let them out. And magically the chain works this time, but they come out, and instead of just locking them in, basically locking them here and then stabbing them from the side and killing them there, they're like, we're going to stab them and have all the walkers keep coming towards them. And it's a lot of them. I mean, it feels like it's 10,000 walkers. I mean, it's so many of them coming out, more and more and more. I know it's not 10,000, but it's exaggeration, but there's so many walkers. People are in danger. Stuff happens. Dakota is caught by the Rangers. And I have to say, the Rangers here are pretty much incompetent. It's just laughable. I was laughing so many times of them like, okay, the walkers fell out of the thing and they got up and started coming out towards them, and then they finally fired a shot. But you should have just closed the gate, stabbed them from the side, barricaded them in, locked them in, and then took them out. There's people grabbing the walkers once they get stabbed out of the way. It's the most far-fetched, laughable thing I've seen in the world of The Walking Dead. Like, how many years have they been in the zombie apocalypse? Especially that Sanjay guy. He was like such a wuss. It was like, get him out of here, right? But the walkers keep coming and coming and coming again. It's like an infinite amount of walkers. They take him out, lock him in. It's a dangerous situation for a couple people, especially Charlie, right? How was she not scratched or bit? I guess she had that plot armor on, right? We need her to stay alive. Fear the Walking Dead keeps so many characters on the show that we don't even really care about, and Walking Dead kills off beloved characters. It's like, what are we doing here in the universe? It's pretty much polar opposites, but her hair is grabbed. She's basically about to get bit and scratched, but she's saved and she lives. And the Sanjay guy, that's one of the prisoners there, and just some other Rangers, and not really anyone of significance dies. No one of the main group dies. But again, the walkers keep coming out and they break through the side and the plastic pallets, and then they have wooden pallets and they're trying to stab the people. And there's the lady that's with the brother, I believe, in season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead, that's next to Alicia. But overall, it's interesting. It's laughable. It's like, man, how many years into the zombie apocalypse and these people can't defend themselves against walkers and come up with good plans? But either way, they take down all the walkers, they clear them all out. They take some guns, they shoot some of the walkers, they get rid of them, and they go inside where the molasses is because there's supposedly a weapon in there. That's what Dakota says. But there is nothing in there. Virginia comes with her Rangers to save Dakota, and she's pissed that Dakota is there, and everybody's safe. And Strand's like, look, I'll take the blame for it. This was my idea. But Ginny turns out is like, hey, you passed the test. No, you did great. This is what we want. Leadership here. People couldn't get this done, and Strand was like, this was all me. So Strand gets promoted, right? And you're like, oh man, this is crazy. But things keep working out for Strand, and then we see Daniel cutting out the molasses in Charlie's hair. Charlie is like, don't you remember me? And Daniel keeps the act up, because again, you don't know if he actually has amnesia because he's got the bump on his head right there. And Ginny says that, you know, he was putting up a fight. We don't see skid mark, but they mention skid marks. And that's what kind of was the problem with Daniel and the Rangers and Ginny's people. We don't know if skid mark is alive, but hopefully he is. Charlie grabs the banjo and plays a little bit of a song. And Daniel remembers the song, but Charlie's like, you taught me that. And Daniel keeps up the act. And we're not sure if he actually has amnesia or not. And then we see Strand and Alicia are talking. Charlie's in the truck. So Alicia and Charlie go away in the truck, so they're still together. Strand stays here, is at Lawton or wherever, I'm not sure where this is exactly, but one of Ginny's properties or communities. And Strand's basically like, I can't be around you, Alicia. I can't lose sight of who I am. And then Strand comes back to Daniel. Daniel keeps up the act. Strand says, you know, I envy you for not remembering because of all the stuff that was done in the past. It's kind of good not to remember. They speak in Spanish. And previously in the episode, Daniel gives Strand a medallion of St. Christopher, and Strand gives that to Alicia. Strand walks away. Daniel gets on this buggy thing with the burro, the donkey, and it's kind of laughable. One thing I was like, why are you leaving in the middle of the night? This doesn't make sense. But look at this thing. This is like the most wonky, cheesy transportation I've ever seen in my life. But they're going to go back to Paradise Ridge. So that's the other one of other Ginny's properties. And they start moving a little bit. And Daniel says to the Ranger, I forgot my scissors back inside and I need them. I can't use these crappy scissors. And at first you're like, what is he up to? And I guess he realizes that somebody is there and he whistles after the ranger goes back inside the property and Daniel stays outside of it. He's like, and then someone else whistles and there's a walker and then someone kills the walker. Turns out to be Morgan, Morgan looking like the badass headhunter. And Daniel keeps up the act like, oh, sir, what are you doing, sir? And he's got this small knife. It's pretty funny. And Morgan looks up and he's like, you know me, Daniel. And Daniel's like, hey, Morgan, I thought you were the one that she was going after because Ginny's been going after and putting orders out to get Morgan. And then Daniel, there's no act anymore. He shakes Morgan's hand and that's the end of the episode. So we all know that Daniel was putting on an act inside there to stay alive. So overall, the episode was entertaining. I definitely had some laughable, far-fetched moments again, but I guess that's what this show is. I've been saying it every season. I'm like, man, I don't have high hopes for certain things, and then I see a trailer, and I'm like, man, this looks good. This looks real good. So then I get high hopes, and then there's a lot of far-fetched stuff, and you're like, well, that's just, how does it make sense? No, what? What is going on here? These people are laughable at times. But I enjoyed the episode. How about you? Thank you guys. Stay safe, and tell them, Daryl.